What is the best moment in a football match? Well, most of you guys would probably answer when a player scores a goal. Yes, I totally agree. But what is often forgotten is when a goalkeeper pulls off a brilliant save. Did you realize when a goal is scored, not only are fans cheering but also booing? But when a brilliant save is made, there will be cheers of awe from both opponents and fellow players. The presence of a great goalkeeper on the field, of course, makes the match more exciting and entertaining. The bigger the competition, the more the fans cheer. As with every FIFA World Cup, apart from the amazing goals, the goalkeeper's moments of brilliant saves will always be remembered and transformed into legends. In almost a century since the World Cup began, there have been lots of great goalkeepers who have wowed the world. But there is always the greatest of the greats. So, who do you reckon are the top 10 goalkeepers of the World Cup? Let's compare it with mine. Gregg is a legendary goalkeeper from Northern Ireland. In this FIFA World Cup held in Sweden, Gregg was simply superb. His presence in the match was a clear example of how a weak team can survive with a world-class goalkeeper like him. Gregg and his country were in a tough group with West German defending champions and strong teams like Argentina and Czechoslovakia. But this didn't stop him. Thanks to Gregg's fine performance, Northern Ireland managed to finish second with 2 wins and a draw against West Germany. At that time, Gregg really frustrated his opponents. He made save after save, and he became a rock-solid wall. Although this was the first World Cup for him and his country, Gregg's heroic actions brought Northern Ireland to the next round. Although in the next round Northern Ireland lost 4 goals without a fight against France. It didn't change the fact that Gregg's heroic performance has made him a goalkeeping legend for Northern Ireland, and for football fans around the world. The best goalkeeper is usually chosen from the country that played in the final, or at least the semi-final. Yet, this was not the case with this Belgian goalkeeper. Michel Preud'homme was voted the best goalkeeper even though his country only reached the round of 16. Can you imagine how awesome was Preud'homme's game that made him the best with only 4 games played? At this World Cup, Michel Preud'homme was definitely a whole other level of player. The most memorable match was when Belgium was up against Morocco, where Michel Preud'homme made 20 great saves and kept a clean sheet. In this World Cup tournament, West Germany won for the second time. Thanks to the 3 heroes, the world-class striker Gerd Müller, the King Franz Beckenbauer, and Sepp Maier, who frustrated the opposing strikers with his brilliant saves. Sepp Maier has wowed audiences around the world with his performances, and has made many saves and clean sheets in this tournament. This peaked in the final match. Trailing by 1 goal to the Netherlands, West Germany would have continued to concede to the Netherlands' aggressive play without Sepp Maier as a solid wall. Without Sepp Maier's brilliant performance, West Germany would not have been able to turn things around and make their country champions.
Gordon Banks is the real hand of God owner. He was the legendary goalkeeper from England, who mesmerized audiences around the world during the 1966 and 1970 FIFA World Cup. In the 1966 World Cup, he was the key player for England to win the tournament. Gordon Banks managed to keep a clean sheet until the semi-finals after Portugal managed to rip him off with a penalty. If there was no penalty, he might have kept a clean sheet until the final match against West Germany. Although he couldn't stop West Germany's 2 goals in the final, his saves against top teams like Argentina, Uruguay, and France kept his clean sheet. His impressive record continued in the 1970 FIFA World Cup, where Gordon Banks kept clean sheets in all 3 matches, including the match against Brazil, where superstar Pelé was left in a real struggle. The most iconic was the save made by Gordon Banks from Pelé's header in the 70s that left Pelé himself unable to believe what he was seeing. The Spanish national football team was a monster from 2008 to 2012. They won all 3 major tournament titles: the 2008 Euro, 2010 FIFA World Cup, and 2012 Euro. No other country had ever achieved this, and their captain was none other than Iker Casillas. The Real Madrid legend has been a savior god for both his club and country. In his time with Spain, he played his best at the World Cup in South Africa 12 years ago. Though they started the group stages with a disappointing loss against Switzerland, they were an unstoppable train in the subsequent matches. Thanks to Iker Casillas' spectacular performance, Spain never missed a goal from the round of 16 to the final match. In this tournament, Iker Casillas was remembered for making unbelievable saves, including blocking a penalty from Paraguay, and 2 brilliant saves in the final against the Netherlands.
You may dislike the Soviet Union, now Russia, but not its women, and Lev Yashin. Lev Yashin was the greatest goalkeeper of all time and the only goalkeeper to ever be named the best player in the world. He may not have exploded in one World Cup tournament like the aforementioned goalkeepers, but his consistently impressive performances in 3 World Cups made him more than deserving to be on this list. There was no greater name in the Soviet Union football team at that time than Lev Yashin. In 1958, he took the Soviet Union to the next round after unseating the football nation England in the group stage. In 1962, he led the Soviet Union to the top of the group standings after winning 2 wins and 1 draw. This peaked at the 1966 World Cup, where his heroic saves brought the Soviet Union back to the top of the group with 3 wins.
Before the 2014 FIFA World Cup began, Manuel Neuer had won everything with Bayern Munich. And when the tournament began in Brazil, he proved to be one of the best goalkeepers of all time, and was one of the key players in Germany winning their 4th title. He was at his best when Germany was up against Algeria, where he was both a goalkeeper and a defender, blocking, tackling, and repelling all of Algeria's counterattacks. He bravely came out of his box when the German defender lost the run to the Algerian striker. Then, did you remember when Germany destroyed Brazil with 7 goals? While Brazil only managed to score 1 goal after many times their attacks were stopped by Manuel Neuer. No one bet on Italy to win the 2006 FIFA World Cup. They played mediocre before then. Most football fans put their focus on 2 strong teams, Brazil and the host country, Germany. And yet, Buffon and his teammates delivered a surprise. Their strong defense and Buffon's solid wall were the keys. Not a single country scored a goal against Buffon. Conceded only twice, an own goal and a Zinedine Zidane's penalty shot in the final match. Buffon managed to keep 5 clean sheets, and was eventually named the best goalkeeper in the tournament.
The story of the Italian national football team at the 2006 World Cup, where they were underestimated but ended up as the champion, was nothing compared to the 1982 World Cup. At that mega tournament, Italy was going through a nightmare, where 2 years earlier many of Italy's star players were involved in match fixing, which made those players banned from playing. In the end, Italy formed an imperfect team, and senior player Dino Zoff was appointed as the goalkeeper and captain of the team. In the end, the super defensive gameplay became the mainstay strategy. Luckily, they had Dino Zoff, who managed to bring Italy through the first group stage after 3 draws. And in the second group stage, they managed to beat the best teams at that time, Brazil as well as Argentina. Oliver Kahn is a legendary goalkeeper from Germany. He was truly the goalkeeping god for Germany, and a nightmare for strikers. At the 2002 FIFA World Cup in Japan and South Korea, he was named the best goalkeeper and the best player. No other goalkeeper except him has achieved this legendary status to date. He made save after save. He only failed to save one goal in the group stage and managed to keep a clean sheet in the next round. But unfortunately, in the final match, he failed to save 2 goals from Brazil, and made Germany fail to win its 4th title. In a nutshell, I think that's the greatest goalkeeper in the history of the World Cup. Do you agree with me? Who's your favorite goalkeeper? Tell me who you think deserves to be on my list.